So what are we looking at, Jess?
This is a scrapbook of some of the documents and photos and things that I've collected when I was researching our family tree for Greta's 90th birthday. It's not finished yet, but hopefully another late night tonight will get it done, so we'll see how we go.
I'll just zoom in on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tell me when you're ready for me to turn.
Alright, sweetie.
Alright, so this is what our family looks like today.
I'll just come over your shot. Oh yeah. The giggling in the background is... What's giggling in the background, Jess?
It's Maggie, who should be sleeping, who's playing with Peppa Pig instead.
Okay. This represents quite a lot of intensive work over a very short period of time. And the information in this scrapbook is perhaps, as a percentage, what would you estimate as a percentage of the total research that you've done, Jess?
Probably maybe about 60% of it.
Okay.
So it's just sort of like I followed the Stevenson and Pearson paternal lines. But I could have gone any number of ways. I could have gone down the Bogues or the Frames. There's so many. Still a little bit empty because it's a surprise for Greta's 90th birthday, so there's a bit of information lacking because I haven't been able to ask her.
Yeah.
But I'm going with a notepad and a pen to her birthday to fill in a lot of those blanks. Oh, it's Greta's birth certificate in there.
So, whose birth certificates are we looking at, Jess?
So this one's Greta's. Big thank you to Uncle Alistair for this one. He helped me get a lot of documents that I wasn't able to get through online methods. It's a bit tricky to get documents from the more recent generations because of privacy issues. You can only get access to documents that are, depending what they are, but usually around 100 years old. Once they turn 100, they become public record. So for people like Greta and Grandma and Grandpa and you guys, because they're still living people, or people who are family members who are living, they can't release those records unless they're already in the family.
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa.
My mum and dad.
My two favourite photos of them.
The top one is a wedding photograph, and I believe the bottom one is when they were on their honeymoon.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, probably not the thing for video, but your grandpa was always proud of the fact that your Uncle Charlie was born 9 months and 1 day after their wedding.
So that's Grandma and Grandpa's registration of marriage, but for them they did banns, which was a little bit different from our traditional marriage that we know today. And Grandpa's birth certificate, or registration of birth.
Hang on a minute, Jess. I'm just going to shut down for a second. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's Grandpa's, and this is Grandma's birth extract. I love how they write down when and where born, it's often just the name of the street or the house.
Yeah.
Not, childbirth was something that happened at home a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So. That's those. Go through and fix these up properly later. Just some family photos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, was this one at Diane Crescent, Dad?
Hang on a minute, sweetie.
Sorry.
Right, so the photograph I'm zoomed in on now, that's my mum and dad, my 3 brothers. I'm the lump sitting on my mum's lap.
The happy lump. You're
Happy lump, yeah. I think I'm what was it, 3 or 4 months old in that photograph, and I'm the size and weight of a 1-year-old just about.
Poor grandma.
What are you laughing at, Jessica? So, just point to the pictures and then...
Yep. So you've shown that one.
Yeah.
This one here is Greta with Annie. What did you guys call her?
Just Granny.
Granny. And that's baby Alistair, chowing down on ice cream. Charlie and Jim in beautiful floral matching shirts.
Yeah.
Down here we have Annie again with Charlie, Jim and Greta.
Correct.
And this is the Fisher crew. So Grandpa, George.
Hang on, there's a bit of there's glare off that. It won't be very clear. Yeah.
That's okay.
There's a... Hang on, I just got to focus again. This is on full manual focus. There's a rather grumpy... what would I be? I'd be 5 or 6 in that photograph.
Maybe, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, do you know, was that one taken at Diane Crescent?
That is Diane Crescent, yeah.
Cool. So over here we have James Pearson, so your grandfather, my great-grandfather, with Alistair Stevenson.
Yeah, that was shortly after Anne and Alistair Stevenson arrived in Scotland from South Africa.
Yeah, Alistair looks quite young now. I reckon he'd be about 5.
Yeah, I know they were very, very young. From what I believe, their dad tried at least to bring them up on his own, but he just found the struggle too hard.
Yeah. And so down here we have all the cousins. So we've got Alistair Stevenson. Yeah. With Greta.
Correct.
We're not sure who the baby is.
No. I have been told, but I've forgotten.
Yeah. That's Grandma there. Yeah. Anne. Correct. Helen Muir, which is another cousin. Yep. And that's Anne Stevenson.
I always thought that one in between Anne Stevenson and my mum was Nan Barr, but Colin says no.
No, Uncle Jim on the quiet showed Greta this photo just recently and asked Greta to fill us in.
Oh, right, okay.
So, over here we have, so I found this photo in my collection. On the back of it was Grandma's handwritten about who each of these people were. So, James Pearson.
Yep.
This lady is called Nell Haswell. So, she's one of Grandma's aunts. And Meg McConnell. Yep. Who is the daughter of Aunt Maggie. I have to double check. They're on my tree somewhere, but I have to double check exactly how they're related. Yeah. That's Annie Stevenson. Yep. That's Greta sitting on her lap. Uh-huh. That's Grandma. Yep. Anne. And this is Greta Haswell. Right, yeah. So this lady's daughter. Yes, I've met Greta Haswell. She's been in Australia. Has she? Yeah. Some of the more recent shots. Oh yes, the Donald in a uniform. Yeah. Apparently he's back down to about that weight now. He's lost an awful lot of weight. That. Yeah. Superstar. Yeah. I have to get over to Hong Kong one time and he does all these bike rides around Asia. Yeah. I'd love to do one. There's Richard. Nanbar and Holiday. And this little person sitting in the corner of the car is Jenny Bogue. Yeah, one of the Bogues. Yeah. Here over on this side we have the Risks. Yep. A few lifetimes ago. So we've got Helen, Nan, Bert.
No, Bobby.
No, Bert. I checked with Colin.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Bert.
Bert.
I also, oh, well, so there you go.
Yeah.
Then again, these are the imperfect memories of a 14-year-old self-absorbed.
I mean, you guys might have called him Bobby, but in what
Yeah.
when Colin wrote to me,
Yeah.
he said Bert.
Yeah.
Carol and Colin.
Yeah.
So in this photo over here, we have Sandy Stevenson.
Yeah, Uncle Sandy, the old
Yeah.
Uncle Sandy, tried to teach Donald and I to play the violin. Gave up in frustration, yes.
This is his son Alexander.
Yeah.
And this is Alexander's son Stephen.
Yeah.
Down here we have the Risk Kids.
Yes, that's how I remember them in the UK when we went
Yeah.
in. That would have been around September 74, 75 that photo was taken.
Yeah. And this is Nan
Yep.
when we went to Scotland.
Correct, yeah.
In 2013.
Correct.
I skipped a page there. So a bit of a photo of a page on Annie and James. Similar photo to what we saw before, but
Yep,
without
yep.
the others.
Yeah.
So James, Annie, Grandma and Greta.
Yeah.
This is James back in.
Yeah. Lanarkshire Volunteer Regiment
Yeah.
horseman. He's the one that saw service in South Africa in the Boer Wars, and I've been led to believe he was one of the few Brits on the beach at Gallipoli.
I have his records that confirm that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He joined the military, from what I saw, completely as a volunteer.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to send volunteer regiments overseas. So when World War I broke out, he, along with his regiment, had to volunteer to go and join the main forces overseas, and they just happened to be deployed. What they did with the I can't pronounce it right, Yeomanry. Yeomanry
Yeah.
was that even though they were supposed to be a regiment on horseback, they turned a lot of them into artillery.
Yeah.
Because that's what they needed. They just didn't have the reinforcements for that. So
I've also been told, and I have only oral history, that photograph of him in the middle on the horse apparently was taken in South Africa somewhere.
was it?
Yeah, I can't verify that though.
No one's been
Yeah.
able to shed any light on that picture for me to this point. So it'd be good
Yeah.
if someone can. That would be awesome. And this is a picture of the headstone of Annie and James.
Well, we've seen that.
Yeah,
we
we
saw that
left
in purpose in person. Yeah, we left flowers at that one.
Yep. And that's kind of where I've got up to with the scrapbook at the moment.
Very good, my darling.
Did you want me to run you through the
No, that'll do. That'll do.
the family tree?
Go.
So these are just the documents to do with James and Annie. Few little headstones and transcription. That reminds me, I have to do some transcribing on one other photo. Sam and Annie Berg. And then these are just some of the documents I've collected to do with some of the branches of the family tree. So like these ones, they're starting to get a lot further back. They're from 1742. 1807. Some stuff. Yeah. So these ones, like getting further back again, 1765. it'll be good today to see some, I know that your brothers have some photos and other documents and stuff to do with some of these other people that we've got in here. So, frames.
Well, see, that's a part of the family that I've never heard a great deal about, is the frames.
Yeah. I think there might be an Irish connection with them as well.
Oh, the frames, yeah, I know that much, but yeah, there were 2 Irish great-grandfathers, if memory serves.
Yeah. Well, I haven't found it yet, but I suspect that there's an Irish connection there. It's like 1778. It's pretty cool when I went back, some of it, like not that particular one, but some of them sort of predate Australian colonisation and things like that. 1714. That's a marriage register. So yeah.
Very good, Jessica.
Lots of extra pages to keep filling it all in.
Kids everywhere.
Nice to meet
Birthday girl. The lady next to her is Aunt Etta, that's my late Uncle Bill's widow. My cousin Jenny. Cousin Margot.
Thank you very much, Jess. You're the one that's doing the family tree, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, it's really good.
Big brother Al. Big as in older as well.
We've only just been able to get
It's my grandfather's medals. He was one of a few Brits on the beach at Gallipoli. Volunteer with the Lanarkshire Yeoman. The picture on the right hand side, that's him standing up.
Well, I figure the bottom is caramel and the top is white chocolate with swirl. So depending on what she'd like, then we'll cut that one open.
Well, they were saying out there before it might be nice to cut one
Who's here to celebrate the very special lady's 90th birthday, none other than Greta Pearson.
Yay!
She's a very special lady to myself and my other brothers. We big thank you for all coming to celebrate with all parts of the world. She's been a big part of my life and most other people who are here as well. Okay, so thank you, Greta. It's been a long great journey together, but we've got you to. A couple of really special acknowledgements. Big one to my niece Jessica. What a fantastic job she's done. Another acknowledgement is to Cherie Fisher for doing the birthday cake. Another acknowledgement to Brother Ralph doing the video camera work. Just a brief outline of Greta's life. She was born in 1929. After her mum passed away in 1962, she moved to London, down in Scotland to forge a new life for herself. and she was there for till 1966, I think. Then she, in the mid-60s, she went over to live in America, in a big city called San Francisco, for about 6 or 7 years, until the early 70s. And from the early 70s, she came to Melbourne, Australia, where she worked for many years in Henry Buxton on Collins Street. And in the mid-1990s, she retired to Hillsville, and she was there for 10, 12 years. So she's been at the retirement village, sorry, the nursing home for 2.5 years there at Gretas Manor. And I've got one to make a big speech, but it's been a pleasure to have Greta in my life, and she's all have the same sentiments. That's all I'm going to say, but just like you all to sing a happy birthday, if it's appropriate this time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Greta. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.
If anybody else would like to come up and say a few kind words, feel free to do so. Said what I had to say. Big thank you all again, everybody.
Everyone enjoying themselves. Everyone having a good time? Yeah, we're all here for it to celebrate Greta's 90th. And a very special act. I just want to thank those people that can't make it and no longer here today. So my dear brother Charlie, okay, we're all missing. And this is also a thank you to my brother Jim. And in memory, there's pictures there of all those people that are no longer here. So enjoy the pictures and enjoy the time while we can. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Enjoy the day.
I'll grab one.
It's alright. Lighter. Where's the other 89 candles? Oh, we're gonna sing. Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Greta. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Why was she? Oh, sorry.
Thank you.